Ladies and gentlemen, hello there. I hope you are well. Okay, now today I'm excited because again we are going to revisit a topic that Benjamin has been hammering. If you've been following him on his posts, he has actually been talking about it for quite some time. All right, now we all know that relationships are like a low-hanging fruit, and anybody and anything can actually be try to eat it. So most of us, or some of us, have been consumed in the process, forgetting that we are hanging very low on the ground. Now today, we are going to talk about how you need to implement no sex till marriage anymore. That is why Benjamin is here today. Is it possible? Yes, it is. We'll tell you how. Hey, Benjamin.
Hello. And you know, man, there's no day that goes that I don't shake my head and feel an ache in my heart. When I see men, there are two groups of people who want to especially address today concerning this. Men who thought, they say test driving is a must.
Yeah.
Men come to the dating assuming they're the ones in control of the dynamic. So they're the ones who, of course, occasionally you'll have ladies themselves who initiate sex, but in large part, it's the men. Or culturally or traditionally or historically, it's him who, who proposes and wants to have sex and run away. And Brahman, let me tell you, bad boys can get away with bad deeds.
Okay.
When I say bad boys, I mean those who don't care about anything. No integrity, no morals, no character, no dreams. They have no life they're living for. They're living for themselves selfishly, and they don't care who they hurt. It's all about what they want. So they are those kind of men who live recklessly. The bad boys who don't care about nothing can get away with those things. But you, the nice guy, quote unquote, or the guy who has a calling, the man who has an identity and godliness and character and integrity and who has a purpose for living. Try those things, you'll be ruined. My heart is aching every day when I meet a guy with a large destiny, big ability, big callings, who was the hope of a whole community. He went out with the same mindset, man. An otherwise well-to-do doctor, engineer, lawyers, business person who is so daring and visionary, but now he comes to you at 52, telling you for the last 30 years he has been tormented and taken to hell and back several trips. But the guy entangled himself in when he was 21. Man, I actually feel something, because I know that's another destiny lost. He might do a few things, but when there's a fight at home, he will never actualize his potential. He will never reach his peak performance. And the sadness and waste is just too grisly to watch when I know what could have happened if this person simply understood the rule we are discussing today. Another one, man, it's only 30. Telling him for the last 10 years with this guy, and there are 3 children already, and I had already introduced her. We have been living, it's cohabitation, 10 years, since when we were 20. What are men doing? Can you please, one of them, tell me? What are men thinking? What are they doing? What is going on? I don't get it. But I came to understand the root. Men are mistaking sex to think they're in charge. Men come telling me how the woman, hey, disrespects me, insults me in front of even my people. The other day there was a physical fight. I'm so tired. There are children there. What up? Started having sex with her. The root is so simple. We keep missing it. The root is so simple. When we study Bible, we see how many men were ruined by sex. But we overlook it. David made one mistake. One mistake that caused so much stress and put an unnecessary scar in his records. We, the Davids of today, must learn and be warned. The Bible says these things were written for our warning, for our instruction. Brother, I want to start with brothers. Anybody who has a calling, the first thing you must bring to place is sexual discipline and obeying of your seasons. You must tame your emotions, control your feelings. They will flare up. Your feelings, now that we are so careless, in fact, with our lifestyle and what we eat and how we live, we keep igniting the fires before the time. And the Bible wants you to lay hold of the small foxes that seems rather innocent. The little foxes, and they're the ones that are destroying our futures. So the first group I want to address is any man who wants to do anything with his life. Any man who wants to do anything with his life. If you think you want to make your life count, if you think you have a calling to change your lives, if you imagine, if you suspect, sometimes you're not sure. Yeah. The circumstances are so bad. Where I grew up, if you told me I will amount to anything, I was not sure. I didn't want to say it because I have to defend it. Some things you keep quiet because even you're not sure. It's a hope, it's a strong hope. But you're hoping against circumstances. And you can't explain it. There's nothing that makes sense with it that time. Bramwell, I kept dreaming and hoping and imagining and having faith when there was nobody driving around me. When they're driving is a driver for another guy's vehicle. So, it's okay to drive other people's vehicles, but I wanted to drive my own. There was nobody who had what I was imagining. So I was imagining cars, good houses, comfortable life, good clothes. I was imagining things that they were nowhere around me. If you are like me and you're class 8, you're second year university, listen to me and I will save your life. Tighten your zip. You will thank me later. The number of body count of otherwise mighty men, of otherwise well-to-do, of otherwise men with a calling, of otherwise the hope of their mother, the hope of their father, the star of the village, of that community. Aye. So I asked one guy, you could afford to gamble with your whole life. How do you place your destiny, all your dreams, in the hands of a 20-year-old kid? What prudence was that? No, tell me, help me. I'm not now. Let's just discuss it. What were you thinking? Sometimes I'm trying to wrap. Brother, help me. I can't wrap my mind around what you were thinking. Please help me. What is the root? They have no answer, except I think I was just carried away by emotions. As I told you, Brahma, there's a lure with the children. Under 25 is alluring because they can't resist you. You are powerful in every way. Better money, you are better known, you're kind of mentor to them, you're guiding them, you lead them. So, because she's, if you are stupid enough, you can get flattered by how she's cooperating your guidance because she does not know the world yet. If you are foolish enough, you say, yeah, I think that one is very obedient. That girl is very obedient. She's the one I want to marry. And I will mold her. Wherever men got this idea of molding. Don't mold children. You don't mold children. They will grow to whatever their nature, their personality, whatever their attitude and their mindset is leading them. That's where they are going primarily. You can't change that. Get the women whose nature has arrived. You can see who she is. If she's a woman, you can rhyme, you can see it. If she's wild, you can see it. If she's a wife material, you can see it. If she's a wild material, you can see it. Not every calmly girl seated there is a wife material. Many of them, my brother, are chaotic and psychopaths. But when they're young, you can't see it. You can't see it. They look innocent and cooperative. If you're a brother and you're down there, and I told you I saw guys ruin their destinies. We're joining university, and a guy got the girlfriend from the village to the university. That time I did not know the language, but I knew you're rushing and you're making blind jump into the dark. Yeah. Today, all those cases are severe regret cases. Severe regret. Normally, the things you don't recover from. You bring a woman to your life, she lives there a few years, whether they're children or they're not, you don't recover from that turn. That's a mar in your reputation. Can you tell everybody we still don't have a recorded benefit of cohabiting? There is still no recorded benefit. I studied somewhere, they said alcohol has no recorded benefit. Alcohol. I say, and why do people take it? Gives you a high, But it has no benefit. It's an emotional intelligence. Of course, there is what people take in celebrations. We see in the Bible there was wine to bring some merriment, that high feeling. When alcohol is consumed in the right amount, brings fun and ease. But what do people do? We always abuse, we overuse. And they say that drunkenness has no benefit at all. You're trying to black out or feel something. When you cohabit with a person you are not married yet, you will regret every day you did that. That is, if you want to do anything with your life. So all the brothers who are down there, out there, don't sleep with a woman you're not married. Don't get entangled emotionally and sexually. The first group is men with a calling. The second group is ladies and men who, let me come to ladies more so, who have been not observing this before. There's a problem with our culture. It normalized sex and made it not a big deal.
Yeah.
So that if you are in a relationship, seems like obvious, we adults. Can you warn those girls who come to dating with a dry spell? They say they came here to cut their thirst, to quench their thirst, to seize their days of waiting and longing and holding. If you try to quench your thirsts out there, outside marriage, you sacrifice your integrity, your dignity, your respectability for short-term relief. The Esau mistake. Esau sold his birthright for a meal.
Yeah.
Those women who say they've been waiting for long, now that they're in a relationship, they might as well. You are sacrificing your birthright, respectability, wife status, and queen. Don't become a queen by just calling yourself. You must behave it. Self-controlled. Somebody would have called you a queen, now you have lowered yourself to the common women. Brahma, once you do that thing, when you start falling, doing those things out here, you can't. Now you're in a group that you can't argue. There are people who sleep with just anyone.
Yeah.
When you start doing it outside marriage, you look like them. And it's very difficult to prove that you're not like them. So there are women who have been carried by this culture that says we are adults anyway, we'll still married anyway, we'll still get married anyway. What's the point of? You fall for that, you're selling on credit. The problem with having getting intimate apart from pregnancy, that one we know. And Brahman is not being spoken of, but the kind of rate of abortions people are doing, it's alarming.
It's alarming, yeah.
It's alarming. Once you do it, you will never forget it. Can you repeat that?
Yeah.
It's not something you can forget. I'll just clean my system. I'll flush it. You have killed a human being. And you will never forget it. You're not saying those who did it must be killed the guilt. There's a way you can seek God's forgiveness and learn from your experience and forgive yourself. But those who have not done it, do not think that abortion is a solution. It's a solution for nothing. It's an establishment of guilt, and you'll have to struggle with the conscience. You will see children who are born at about the time when you were born. And you will remember your child will be that age. I heard cases where, you've heard of cases where people were aborted and when they got in, they couldn't get a child. Others will still get children, but you know this is not your first. Friend of mine, unfortunately, the baby born with complications and died. Just few months. But he always tells me, that was my firstborn. Now this is my second. This is my third. Got other kids, but in his mind, the one who did not survive the childbirth complications was still. So I said to myself, so there's so much connection with what we produce, Brahma. You can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it and assume it. That's a child, that's a life. Abortions are being brought by sex you did not plan. Of course, the ones that are done in hospital to save your life are different from what you're discussing here. Yeah. Those ones are being done by the decisions being made by doctors for your own health. Okay? Yeah. So the first thing with women, the problem they don't understand is you are the one who is on the receiving end. Men never do abortions. They don't have it. They can push you to do it, can recommend you do it, but he never gets pregnant. So the real guilt will sit with you, mostly. The second problem with these girls is they've been with this man for 3 years, I've been having sex, now how do I change my life? Why are you dating for 3 years? The reason you're doing the wrong things is because you are dating at the wrong time. Can you repeat the problem with the dating without purpose? It's because when purpose is not clear, abuse is inevitable. If you date when you're ready for marriage, you'll have to do other things to sustain that relationship. And the things you are doing are things you're not supposed to be doing at this time. You do the thing outside its time, you'll have to sustain it with things that are not yet time. I don't know how much you can emphasize this.
Yeah.
Brahma, if you had been in a relationship, you yourself, for the last 3 years waiting when you are ready to marry, you'll have to do a lot to sustain it for those
3 years. Yeah.
You can't assume the person does not exist in your relationship. You have to do things. The reason they are giving into sex is because they are dating long. Why do you need it? Why do people date for long? Fear, confusion, lack of knowing their seasons, being idle. Brahma, one reason I did not date, and I know why you did not date when you are, because every day of your life is occupied.
Yeah.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there. No, you don't know, all you marry. When I get there, the Lord will provide. I'm doing the right thing at the right season. It was until Isaac was ready to marry that the father sent Eliezer to help the young man find a wife from the right kind of people. For you, there's always a right kind of mindset. For them, it was tribe or people, Jews. For you today, it's about mindset. As I told you, tribes is no longer Kamba Kisi Masai. Tribes is mindset. The tribe now is your soul family. The people you think alike. Don't believe those colonial ages where they were giving you an ID written your tribe. Don't believe, they're no longer relevant today. We are going to the university, universal, where we are meeting all of us, and it's mindset, intellect that's meeting. Today you can move from here to California and you thrive there.
Yeah.
You can go to South Africa and until you tell somebody you're not from South Africa, they can't tell. You understand, you mix so well. It's a soul family. Can we stop being petty? Can we stop being petty? All right. So, as a lady, if you've been this relationship for that long, the first thing, ask yourself whether you need it. We did a show on why you should end that long-term relationship. Long term is a wrong term.
Yeah.
You don't need a long, stretching relationship. It occupies your energy. It confuses. Your emotions must be engaged. And yet you're not a union yet. You are still living separate lives. You must keep something in the connection strong. You must put everything you have in. You must talk every day. You must limit your associations not to make the other person feel jealous. You must limit how far you go from each other. You may not be open to new opportunities that need you going to new places, meeting new people, disappearing for some days or weeks, interacting with people. When you're in a relationship for long, it shapes and confines your life and makes it a tunnel. If you have been that 3 years, it's regrettable. It was wasted. 3 years. You may know many people dated 7 years and still married. That's why we copy. You think this one, from the time when one of the guys was telling me, this is the only relationship I ever had. I dated her after Form 4. And I asked him, now, please, my brother, don't make me vomit in the morning. He thinks he's mentioning something as if it's an achievement. It's the only relationship I ever had from Form 4. Why did you need 10 women when you just, man? Then she proceeds to ruin your 20 years. She proceeds to destroy all your productive years. What is achievement then? Wrong thing, the wrong time is a disaster. The wrong thing, the wrong time is a disaster. Remember that. So we are saying for ladies, if you've been in it and you've been having sex, you can simply rebirth yourself. Get born. Change your mindset and start a new chapter of your life, and let the one you're dating, let them know you've changed your mind. This is not right. Brahma, let me give you permission. Let's give our viewers permission to change. Yeah. Give yourself the permission to change once you get new information. We did a show about how to celebrate your birthday, and you said you don't wait for special days. Birthday is a special day. New Year's is a special day. Christmas, special day. All this special day. But you can start always a new year once you get a new learning. Allow people on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon, when they learned that premarital sex is wrong, to say, enough of this. Once they say that, let them stand on 2 grounds. Let the person decide to be with them still without sex, or leave them alone. If the person decides to walk away, it's okay. They were never for you. Nobody wants you for their life. It's their soulmate. Will never walk away because you took a stand that you believe is better for yourself. Brahma, if anybody walks away because you said no more sex before marriage, they were never for you. Yeah. They were not here to stay. Make peace with some of these things so that you don't feel rejected over nothing. In fact, anybody who can afford to walk away was never meant to stay. Another group that finds it hard to say no more sex till marriage is those women who have a child. The child is a proof that she had sex before. People take it like, now you are not in that group anymore. Let us emphasize again what happens when women get children. Many of them degrade themselves to second class. As if they can't compete with maybe the virgins or girls who don't have children or girls who have something like that. Can we repeat again and say the biggest change when you get a child is not the womb that carried the child. It's not the fact that you're a mother. The biggest, and where you must watch, is your mindset. Is your self-worth, is your world view, is your belief about your value now, about what you deserve in life. Brahman, that is where the thing is. We talked the other day, people asking me whether it's okay to date a lady who has a child. I told them the child is not the issue. Even a guy who has a child, they keep asking me, talk about dating a person who has a baby mama somewhere, baby daddy somewhere. Talk about. I say, it's not the situation. Bramwell, you can meet a guy who is as straight thinking and composed as you, but he has not always been like this. There's a time he made a blunder and got a child. Yeah. But what is his mindset? He has organized that part of his life. He's not interfering. He has found a rhythm on how to manage that situation. He has clarified his life. You have changed his mindset. He is disciplined, well behaved and focused, and his vibe. How do you feel it? Tell people stop focusing on the background. Children are important. You don't ignore them. But there are some people who don't have children and they are disorganized. Yeah. They're not decisive. They're not available emotionally. How lovely, how attentive, how present, responsible is the man. Whether he has a child, but we say if it looks like a pattern, can you tell women to stop asking me, this guy has 3 baby mamas, and now he's approaching me, what do I do? I simply told her, go on ahead and be the 4th. Why are you asking me? Join the queue. Hey, these are not mistakes, these are patterns. And how many other women has he been sleeping with where no pregnancy resulted? The reason she was asking because she had her own child. Many women who got a kid began to believe they are now second grade. Let's announce to them this. You can return celibacy to your life even after you get a child. Even after you get a child. Why? You've learned and changed your mindset. Once you change your mind, it becomes a new life. Once you change your mind, it becomes a new life. Remember that CEO I admired, the late Bob Collymore, composed man, solid man, who was high there in leadership, married a lady with children, not just child. Yeah. What was the mindset of that lady? Was she, no, I'm just here. Was she like that? No. Not impress solid men with pity. I'm sure. I don't know the details, brother. Maybe one day I'll get to know how they met and all that, how they talked. But I always suspect that lady impressed Bob with her personality, her composure, the way she exists. That man was surprised to see that we have Kenyan ladies who think on that level. You must amaze a man in order for him to marry you.
Say that again.
Men don't marry average women. Yes. You're average and you're looking to get married. Sorry, you'll be looking for quite a while. A man only marries a woman who intrigues him. And he begins to ask questions. So there are people like you still exist. A man must find you peculiar. Of course, it goes also the other way. The lady must find you. But I'm using the man because it's the man who do most of the hunting. Yeah. Ladies welcome our advances. They weigh us when we show our interest. One of the things you need to understand is, as long as you see yourself down, from the time I got a kid now, I think a guy will be doing a favor. And many of the worst relationship mistakes are here come because the lady already had a child. So, you accepted me and my child. That's all he said. Because you accepted my child. He agreed to take in my child. You lowered your standards to just a guy who can accept your child? Just because you got a child does not mean now you lower your standards to just a guy you can put up with your child. Yeah. You are a person still. In fact, we said, having brought up a kid and gone through the process of pregnancy and having, it's an added CV. You can flip the whole script Brahma, to become a richer woman, a more composed woman, a woman who has proven, who understands, and whose heart has not hardened despite the things she went through. This is a woman who has a proven record of taking care of another, who has a proven record of building a life where she has another she's taken care of. A child enriches a woman. If you approach the duty with positive attitude, you become a richer, sweeter, more balanced, better listener, proven. I mean, you become deeper, sweeter, wiser, more loving because of a baby. We need to understand this. Never lower just because somebody rejected you. Heal from the rejection and decide, because of this child, I'll fly higher than I ever did. I'll marry better. I'll think better. And when you meet men in tables and in hotels, in conferences, carry your air, that atmosphere of assurance and royalty. And be nice and both with the polished and manners and the way you dress. Don't dress like a bush. Please, many women who have a child, they dress like a mother. You can see the motherness. Like a bush. I don't know, man. What is happening, man? I'm meeting people, man. And you pity them. Because they are trying to... what they are wishing for, to be seen by good men. And what they are putting out is the opposite.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. Hey, man, one lady was asking me, I've been trying, I don't know if it was 5 or 7 years. I asked, are you still trying? But I can't see it. Me, I don't feel whether there's a lady around. You're not dressed very different from me. Me, I'm not searching, but I can't feel your oomph, your presence. Tell ladies to put on the lady. Don't call yourself Mama Jane or Mama. Don't call yourself a mother. Identify yourself as a lady. Your child is in your private life. Only those people matter who get to know the child. Those who matter. You're not hiding the child, but neither are you putting the child as your identity. No. You're a lady before you're a mother, before you're a wife, before those social roles. What are you? You're just Judy. That's all. You just Mary. That's enough. Don't put the baby all over and what people are seeing. Married people are putting their babies, and you're not married, and you're putting your babies. You get confused with them. Don't post even the children of your sister or children of who, or children who like you. Don't post them in every place. And now you look like you're taken and married and settled. Don't deceive, don't confuse. So those who had children can still stop having sex and say, I'll only have sex after marriage. I changed my mind. I stepped up my standards. I decided to stand on my worth. I had compromised on my worth for a little while, and I regretted it, and I'll never compromise again. When people bring the topic of sex to me, that was them. I had compromised a little bit. That's enough. We'll never do that again. I would like to do things right. Yeah.
I like that, Benjamin. How I wish we could get these things right, Benjamin. Now, there is this category of ladies, is what one thing I've observed, Benjamin. Whenever a man tells a lady, I want to go and see your people, some ladies get excited. They take the guy to go and visit the parents for introduction. Now they take that introduction as a ticket to having sex, by imagining that he has now proven that he's a serious man.
And that's been happening so much. I don't know why. Brahma, can you tell ladies that only good men respect parents? Men who are remaining today, they use anything to hunt to get you to sleep with them. Yeah. So if they realize that you will only allow sex after they visit your place, they'll take the trip tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Now, ask how many people thought, just because he has gone to my place, now we can move in together. And it's 10 years, 15 years. And he has never formalized anything. And he's always one leg out. When you play wife to a man who has not committed to be husband, you'll always be one leg out. Yeah. The bargaining power is on his end. Mm-hmm. If you make that kind of noise, I'll just go. I realize you're not a good person. Visiting your people should not be the standard. The standard should be you and him becoming one. Mm-hmm. Preserve your sex for marriage, and you will not regret it. So one lady called me crying, the kind of crying I don't like. Mm-hmm. Brother, that crying is for bereavement, please.
Yeah.
You cry like that when people die. If a person you really loved rejected you, the first thing is you should be annoyed. Don't just start, you should be annoyed. No, so you are just wasting my time, my friend. You feel the hurt, But it should not be, oh, poor me, I will die. Are you worthless yourself? You're a man of value. And in fact, when people reject you or walk out, they're giving you a chance to meet better people and to punish them by seeing you happier without them. So it's okay, you will feel the hurt, but don't plunge to self-pity and wallowing. Sit with it, process it. You may need to cry here and there, but you don't cry just to anyone. Go, I'm in a crisis. Is your house burning? Whoever went, did they carry your liver or your kidney? What did they carry? Surely, if you're still an adult by this point, you know you can always collect yourself. The disappointment is there, the heart is there, but you handle it like an adult with self-respect and dignity. Brother, maintain your composure. Maintain your composure, whatever happens. Maintain your composure. The other day, something. There was a blast in the house. The main socket. Something happened with the wires, and it, you had a sound. And there were ladies in the kitchen. They were doing some things there. My wife and a friend there. And I just walked in calmly, checked. I saw what it was. Just switched off. I corrected it. It was not a big issue. But I said, "How come you're not shocked? Will the shock improve the situation?" Okay, then many of them feel a lot of electricity there. I thought about it later. I don't know where I got that sang-froid composure from, but I had meant I was very composed. You wouldn't see him worked up. You will respond to the situation. He's not insensitive, but you respond with level-headedness. And he handles the situation better, with more composure. Brother, don't let him just because a person walked out on you. Now you have lost yourself. Compose yourself. Think, calm, breathe if you need to. That time when my car crashed somewhere into those things they placed on the road, I avoided that thing of jumping. You're trying to run here, you get knocked more. Yeah. Then I try to gather my calm. When I gather myself, I step aside there. In case another guy makes the same mistake, he's ramming into me. So I'm trying to compose. I learned that whatever happens, as long as you are alive, believe God is with you. Maintain your mind. Try to read the situation. If the person has walked out on you, if the person retreat, regroup, book a therapist, book a life coach. Go now. You can go cry there in therapy, regret the losses and feel angry and no, in the right context. Don't scream publicly, making you look embarrassing yourself. Looking the way these kids are doing this loyalty test, and they are complaining, screaming in publicly. They are tearing their reputations before their day begins. And we warned, we said, anybody who loves themselves, if you love yourself, keep your shameful moments secret so that you can process them and recover from them. Keep rejections private. Don't record them on camera. Don't let YouTubers come and record you. Don't be exposed. One day you will wake up and realize you tarnished permanently. When you're only 20 and you have like 50 years of life, and you'll be haunted by something that you should never be doing in the first place. So, just because a man has gone to your home is not proof that he wants anything. Just because he has gone, have that marriage, the union. Of course, people can still marry when they don't mean it. But if you're considering only marriage and you're keeping sex for marriage only, you get rid of 80%, if not 90% of sex pests and cons. You'll be able to learn the person's background. Many of them have families. You show up there, you realize he has a family. Yeah. So keep sex for marriage so that you can do enough homework with a sober mind. When you keep sex away, you can think clearly. When you bring in sex, you are mixed. That lady was crying. How long have you read? 6 months. Why are you having sex? Yes. What is discovered is married. Why are you having sex? It's because you had gotten emotionally involved. That's why you are so. Had you just studied him with no strings attached, the disappointment would be very little. Now this one would just wanted to waste my time. I know the truth, and you move on in your life. Tell them to learn them with no strings attached, no sex involved. That way you can think straight. And just because he has visited your people, how many people have visited and they don't intend anything? So he has done step one. Let him do all the steps to get you. And you are giving yourself the time to check what you're committing to. If it is marriage in mind, you're likely to be more serious than if it's just visitation home or just Rora show. Or just, even if it's just Rora show, was that customary marriage? Make sure whatever you are saying brought us together. Definitively in everybody's mind, you became husband and wife. If it's just a part of, like Rorasho or bride price or Lobola, you gave something, something. Was it marriage? That is only always the question. Was it in your mind and his mind from now on, you and I our wife and husband, no outsider is allowed. Was that the understanding? If it was just, no, I'll talk a portion and then to formalize later. My friend, you are a fool if you give everything and the guy has only given a portion. Yeah. Make sure it can be a customary event, attorney generals, can be a wedding in church, but make sure whatever makes your union, it's in the understanding of both you and them and everyone that now you're getting married. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a very good point to leave it. Remember, dating is all about meeting many people and not mating many people. Thank you for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Till we meet again.